Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tammy coming to you live today from my office. This is round two of me trying to get Sunday sermon up and going on YouTube this morning. Round one, the internet would not connect. I didn't have a good connection to go out restart. That's why I'm about 3 to 4 minutes late starting. So if you get a notification, I'll give you a few seconds to jump over here. As always, do what it says below. Say hello and tell us where you're watching from. If you're watching this on YouTube, host a watch party over in Facebook because this is the last Sunday sermon we'll have to just only be in YouTube. We'll be able to do YouTube and the Facebook group next week. We've got about 3 more days on restriction, so that's not too terribly bad. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday sermon. If you are just now joining our channel, right? Good morning from Crew. Good morning from Key Largo, Montego. Baby, what? Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Elizabeth. I'm so glad y'all are joining me this morning. I am here this morning. If you are brand new to the channel, if you're just scrolling through and you're finding this, like, what is that lady doing? Stick around. I promise it'll be worth your watch. My name is Tammy Nelson. I am the hometown hippie out of Farmville, Virginia, and I am a little woo woo and a little weed, right? A little woo woo and a little weed. And we're going to talk today about you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You cannot judge a book by its cover. And I did not know that was today's topic until about 3 minutes before I started going live. I have honestly, good morning, Sheila. On Saturday afternoons, I kind of, or evenings, right? It's usually Red and I. That's the night we kind of like blow it out in the afternoon. We kind of like, get our buzz on in the afternoon. And then we usually watch like a movie on Saturday night and we sit in our recliners and we just kind of chill out. We kind of regroup from the week and we joke and we laugh. But we kind of like play Little Old Lady, Little Old Man, and we kind of sit in our recliners and we just kind of chill out on Saturday nights. That's the night we move to the recliners much earlier than usual. And a lot of times I will take those deep breaths, right? And I will say to myself, hey self, what is tomorrow morning's topic going to be about? As tomorrow morning's topic, what is coming in? What do I need to focus on? What should I hear? Because a lot of times it's interesting because whatever we end up getting into on Saturday evening, movie wise, music wise, whatever we do, sometimes there's a secret message in all of that. So I always try to look for the secret message in that Saturday afternoon interaction, that Saturday night, whatever, because I hear it, I see it, that kind of thing. Movie, so like lines from movies, things like that kind of resonate. And it's like, aha. And I was kind of drawing a blank last night. We watched some weird ass movie. Had a lot of big name comedians in it. It's called Amsterdam. It was strange and odd, and I was probably a little too stoned to understand it and get it and whatever. So I didn't try. I just kind of laughed at the funny parts and I let it go over my head. But nothing, right? Nothing came to me that was going to be of use. And then as I walked into my office this morning and I looked around and I'm like trying to angle myself because it's interesting. So many of you know, about 2 weeks ago, my sister left a situation she did not need to be in anymore. And as family, you help out family. So it was very hard for her to, to number one, admit she needed a little help right now. And so, but I told her you don't have to ask. It's offered. It's here for you. And but because she and her kids were kind of going to come stay with me for a little while and move in with us, we were just not prepared for it, right? Y'all know the chaos that is my life right now. So we had to do a little bit of finagling with like everybody has a junk drawer in their house. We had like 2 entire junk rooms, not one, but 2. Now Red would not say one of those rooms was a junk room. It was his fishing room. He had all his fishing gear, and he's an avid fisherman. And I mean, he had stuff like hanging on the walls. And Sheila will tell you, It was a true fishing room. She's like, I don't know how one person got this much fishing shit. I was like, this ain't even all of it. This ain't even all of it. But we had to clean out the area to make room for everybody to be comfortable. And it's interesting because sometimes things happen like that energy in that space, like all year, all year long. If you talk to my woo woo guru, if you talk to people who had talked to me, the thing that had been coming through to me was like clear the clutter. I don't know if I remember me talking about that on Sunday sermons, but that was a message. It kept telling me clear the clutter, right? Make room for the abundance, make room for the growth, make room for the things that are coming in. You have to clear the clutter. And he is a dedicated fisherman. Yes, he is. Um, I kept hearing that, and I kept putting my ego kept attaching abundant like business growth. Like I cleaned out my office several times. I rearranged the business stuff in the house this year several times, clearing the clutter to make room for the abundance, make room for the growth, make room for the thing that has to happen, make room for the expansion. I did not know that it was a legitimately saying, make room for the growth of your family coming back into the space because we have to make room for everybody. And so as I walked in here today, right, and it's interesting, like this all came to me like honestly 3 minutes ago. So that's going to tie back into the rest of this message because if you're living in a place right now where you are like, I am at woe is me, the world, the sky is falling, and you don't know how to get out of it, I'm going to tell you that you can get out of it within minutes. You can get out of it within moments. Your life can change in the blink of an eye. I promise you it can, right? I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. Let's just talk about what's happening here, right? So, um, I walked in here. I'm like, oh, I gotta go live, and y'all can kind of see sneak peeks, right? But I have positioned my chair enough, and I got on the live. It was interesting. I was trying to set up the shot, like looking at behind me. I don't know if y'all can see this over here. This is my walking stick. I found this stick outside, and it's the perfect girth. It's got a little finger notch to hold on to. It's the right height. I just need to get it cleaned up. I need to get it shellacked. That is my walking stick. I'm going to get that cleaned up and done. But we had to make room for all the things. So what we did, I kept telling everybody, if you've been to my house, I said, don't look at that stuff. That is Evan's mess. I told Sheila that because Sheila was here helping me yesterday. Thank you, Sheila, for all your help yesterday. But as we got into all the boxes, I was like, that mess being Evan's mess was the story I was telling. Right? That's the story I was telling. Some of Evan's things were back there, but the reason that I hadn't touched it is because I had told the story so many times. Good morning, Melanie. That was Evan's mess back there, and he was coming to get it. That I let it sit. That I let it sit, and that's the story I told myself. Right? Now, when we got into it, Sheila will tell you, what did we say? She's like, oh, that's not an Evan box, that's a Tammy box. And it was honestly I have boxes with boxes inside of it, with boxes inside of that I need to go through. It was those last boxes that you just shove stuff in every time you move, and it's just those miscellaneous, you're like, I don't know what to do with this. And they just kind of pile up. Can anybody tell me yes? Hell yeah. I know those boxes. Those boxes are awful. Those boxes are crazy. The boxes with the extra empty picture frames that you don't know why you got them, but you got them, and you have extra picture frames, right? They've got random empty holiday bags. They've got, interestingly enough, they've got, I bought a bunch of wishing you peace. These are sympathy cards that, I bought that I didn't get to use. I didn't get to use. That sounds awful. I didn't send. Yes, Doom boxes because it pains me to go through them. 4 boxes were his. Yeah, 4 boxes were his. Just random old pictures. Like this one though, I'm going to show y'all this. This one is all of my mom's grandchildren. This is all of my nieces and nephews. All of our nieces and nephews. Isn't that a beautiful group of children, though? All of my nieces and nephews in one place. This was at my mother's funeral. This was the first time in years all of the grandkids. It was actually the first time all of them had been together ever, because that one had that they hadn't all been together since this one was born, and so they got. I got my mom got a chance to have them all at her funeral. All of her grandkids were there, but she would have much rather have been there. Got me sitting beside me now. I got to go through. So when I came in here, I'm like, I don't need. I got to go through this today. This is my goal today. But behind me, I'm going to show y'all. I'm bringing the camera off because it's don't judge a book by its cover. Because y'all, I don't know how to do this. Look, there is just. I'm saying I don't y'all see all my nonsense. That's just part of it. But there is behind me. It is just utter chaos behind me. Utter chaos behind me. Utter chaos behind me. But if I didn't show you that and I didn't talk about that and I didn't point that out, you would think that I was in my office like any other normal day, right? So it's what the world wants you to see, right? It's when you go on your social media, when you go looking through all of these TikToks, when you go through Instagram, when you go scrolling through the social media world that's out there today, right? And we're talking about some things today. It always has has an extra special meaning here. Um, when you go scrolling through your social feeds today, when you start going to comparing your life to other people's lives, especially this time of year when it's the holidays and you feel like maybe you're not providing the Christmas that you wanted to give this year because of money or whatever the reasons may be. When you start looking at what people are doing out there, and these holiday, even the kids going to these holiday dances and this and that and the other and all of the things, and you see the beautiful Christmas trees. You don't see the picture behind it with laundry laying on the couch. You don't see the fact that they've been arguing for 3 days about the hairdo, and you don't know the story behind those pictures, right? You are judging that entire situation by judging a book by its cover, just like the title says today, right? You're judging a book by its cover, and um, I say this a lot. If you only judge a book by its cover, or you stop looking at it after the first chapter where there's chaos, you miss some pretty good stories. But as a people right now, we are so worried about the images that we put out versus the reality of it, that's I feel like how a lot of this animosity and anger and bad energies in the earth, right? Because people are holding on to their true authentic selves because they're scared, because they want to get the likes and the loves and the hearts and the attention and all the things on social media. And I try to say all the time that I am as authentic as my food. That is why a lot of times on Sunday mornings, I sometimes y'all get me putting on a face on lives. Sometimes you get me with one on. Sometimes you get me looking exactly like I did when I woke up this morning. The only thing that I've done this morning, I haven't brushed my teeth. You're glad it's Be glad it's not smell-o-vision. Be glad it's not smell-o-vision this morning, right? I have had coffee, so I've got coffee and bed breath. I'm sure, right? I pulled my hair back in a ponytail. That's what I've done. I've pulled my hair back in a ponytail. I probably could like give you some eye burgers if you needed them. I just really could, because I have watched people get lost in the sauce trying to put on airs. I have seen people get so worked up over what their social looks like that they have I mean, not talking teenagers, because they're what they are. I'm talking adult people older than me who have things set on their social media where you can't tag them in pictures unless they approve it, because they don't want to have anybody seeing them looking crazy. And I get it. Everybody has their own standard of modesty and their own standard of privacy and their own standard of what. But here's the thing, right? Um, if we as a collective, right? If as we as a collective were more concerned about the quality of our real life, right? If you took as much pride in what your pictures look like on the internet as you do in how your life works, your life would be all the time approved for your social media. I worry less about how it looks and more about how it is. And that's the truth of the matter. It matters to me that things are done right. It matters to me that we offer a level of perfection that might seem unrealistic to some people. But we also believe that done is better than perfect. And in our blessing that we evoke for our kitchen, we say things like, um, may our mastery of our skill sets be bountiful and our mistakes be few, but may we embrace them both and love them both equally, because even it rains sometimes, right? And so um, I see people really focused on what other people see versus worrying about how they actually are. And I want you, each and every one of you, to live your life in such a way and walk in such an integrity that you can be authentically yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, I know that there are social constructs in social situations, and there are things that you would say and do maybe here and in this place, and that you wouldn't say and do maybe at a wedding or a funeral or a revered event, right? But I'm gonna be me 100% of the time. And the picture that you capture of me is who I am. Because here's the thing: if people are out here judging you by the way that the picture that you see, right? I want you to know this: it's not them that's judging you; it's you that's judging you. All the judgment that you place on those pictures, all the things that you want people to see, that is your projection of what you want. If you're like, I need them to see this, that's because that's your fear. That is your projection of the things that you are worried about in your life. The things that you don't want people to see are the things that you should look at the hardest. The things that you are ugly, are scared and ugly, that you try to hide away in the closet, those are the things that you as an individual, I'm not saying bring them to light on social media. I'm not saying air your dirty laundry on social media. I'm not. But I'm saying the things that you are afraid to put on social media, when I say don't judge a book by its cover, I don't want you to judge a book by its cover, but I want you to understand that any book you are judging by its cover is a direct reflection of the things in your life that you want to fix. Think about it. Think about it. When I see a little young girl going to one of those dances, and I'm like, she needs to put some clothes on. You know what that's a projection of? It's a projection of, damn, I wish I looked like that. With my size, I can't wear a dress like that. So I'm projecting on that she should cover up. Or I'm projecting on that she should cover up because of past traumas that have happened to me when they asked me, what were you wearing? It's nothing to do with her. She looks gorgeous in it. She should wear whatever she wants to do. Right? When I see somebody else going out and buying a car, a Mercedes Benz, and I say, oh, must be nice. I don't know how they're affording that Mercedes Benz and they already fussing about this and they fussing about that. It's about my fear of lack of money, my fear of like, wasteful. Why would you need a car that costs like that? Because and my traumas and my shadow work makes me believe that you should be frugal when you purchase things, especially around the holidays, because my family struggled around the holidays. And the fact that somebody could do that, I'm a little jealous that they have the wherewithal to be able to like go spend money on themselves. It makes me jealous, because when you're judging a book by its cover, you're really just telling on yourself. Just saying, y'all. When you judge a book by its cover, you are just telling on yourself. I had to learn that the outside doesn't matter. I have so much more time for the important things instead of the horse and pony show that takes so much effort. It does. I'm gonna move my body around, and I need to do this way because as someone who you should not judge a book by its cover, I'm just jingling baby today, and I'm not trying to like show all that on YouTube. So I had to adjust myself. Mm-mm. Now, also in one of those boxes, I want to show y'all something that I found, and you're probably going to get a kick out of that. I showed some pictures. I'm going to show you another picture. This was my um, this was my announcement for when I was engaged to wed in October. Miss Deskins, uh, graduated from Radford. Mr. Nelson graduated from all the things, right? Now, this was what was in the newspaper. Now, anybody who hung out with me the night that I took this picture knows that I was not doing smiling for an engagement. We didn't have it. Oh, by the way, this was back in the early 2000s where you didn't hire. I mean, I'm sure people probably did that since the beginning of time, But Red and I, he was doing a second marriage, and I was 30 years old before I got married, 31 before I got married. I was not going to have like some like I didn't have a photo shoot. That was not in the cards for us. I took a picture. Um, Someone took this picture of me. I think Red took it, maybe, or my cousin Angie took it. It was no cell phone. It was an actual developed picture from a not even a digital. It was a filmed camera. I probably have the negative on this filmed camera, and I was going to a Christmas party. Y'all know how berserked out of my mind I was in this picture. We had done mushrooms in this picture. I had eaten mushrooms in that picture. I had smoked a pile of weed in that picture. I drank a ton of beer back then. I was not healed. I can promise you that. I was anything but healed. I can promise you that. Um, but the but if you judge this book by its cover, I look happy and fixed up and perfectly like a little angel, right? I mean, I think I do. But you cannot judge a book by its cover. Even the things that you're seeing that, you just can't. You just cannot judge a book by its cover. Don't try to do it. But I was realizing that, right? And I was realizing, like, look at the things. Like, we see people going live and we admire and we hold them up on this pedestal. And that's why sometimes when I meet y'all, like for the first time, and I have not met y'all before, and it blows my mind that people want to like come meet me and give me a hug, and I don't know why. I mean, I know that we love each other and we're in each other's sphere of influences, and everybody wants to like, we all want to meet each other, and I want to meet y'all as bad as y'all want to meet me. But I've had a couple of y'all that have blown my mind, like, oh my God, it's really you, and I'm like, oh my God, what? Because it's just me, right? And so I always try to show you like kind of like the Wizard of Oz, right? It's like don't look behind the curtain. My big thing is that I live behind the curtain. I'm like, come see what's happening. And maybe you're not in a place yet, right? You give the best songs. Oh, you give the best songs. I love y'all so much. But I'm like, I don't even want to be around myself. Why do y'all want to be around me? Like, why do y'all want to be around me? But that was one of the things because as we started this journey together, right? As we started this journey together, I did not know where it was going. I know that I heard a whispering that said, if you build it, they will come. And I thought it was cheesy as hell. And I thought it was corny. And I thought it was just something maybe that my stoner self, I always say that my highest self also has to deal with my higher self. Because you can imagine my higher self. She is high and sometimes she thinks of crazy stuff, in my opinion. My ego is also kind of silly. So I don't know where the silliness is coming from sometimes. I just don't know. But I completely lost track of myself. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. No, but whenever we are meeting each other and doing all the things, all I'm saying is that I heard that. I heard that whispering. I heard that whispering. If you build it, they will come. I have been asked to become part of other communities in the cannabis industry. Come do this with me and come do that with me. And here's what my community is doing. And I would tip my toe in there. And I'm like, I just didn't feel, it didn't feel right. Right. I didn't judge a book by its cover because if I would have judged a book by its cover, I never would have even put my toe in there. But I was like, I'm judgy, I'm grippy. Let me try to relax a little bit and let me go check out these other communities. And I never felt like it was somewhere where I would be willing to put my name or my brand. It just was never, I did not align with it. And one of the things when I started this Hometown Hippie Grateful Fed journey was I was working for companies where I did not align with their values. And I was like, I don't want anybody to control my time. I want to help people heal through plant-based medicine. And I don't want to work for places or do things for people that don't align with my values, right? With my values. And I'm not going to negotiate. I'm not going to lower my vibration. I'm not going to do that just to get it, get along, fit in to get along, or whatever it is. Go along I'm not going to go along to get along. I couldn't think of the saying I was trying to get. I'm not going to go along anymore just to get along, right? And when I was going over to those places, that's how it felt. I was just going along a little bit to get along. And finally, I kept hearing it. I kept hearing it. And last October, we started the Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles Facebook group. And this last year and a few months, the growth of our group, the people that we have met, and I'm going to tell you all the truth. Some people that we've brought into the community, if I would have judged a book by its cover, they were in places in their life where they might not be here with us, right? But they were birds of a feather flock together. I believe that the right people were going to be attracted to us, and they have not asked us to lower our standards. They have decided to raise theirs, right? We have seen people who have come out of addiction. We have seen people who have come out of grief. We have seen people who come out of poverty. We have seen people who have pulled themselves out of so much depression and darkness. And it's not always like they pulled themselves out of it and stay out of it. But we've been able to be a support system for so many people who have been struggling this last year. And I hope that we will continue to bless the people in our community. So many of you watching today are people who go out and you offer that helping hand. You're good about not judging books by its covers. You know that we love each other, and the intentionality here is to always believe in the power of one and know that we go out every day and we try to make the world a better place for just one other person. And if we judged every book by its cover, because here's the thing, if you have a Christ consciousness, right? Jesus did not go out and sit in the churches. He did not go out and sit in the synagogues. He did not go out to the holy places. He went out and he communed with the sinners. He communed with the beggars and the thieves and the people who needed to hear the message of love and light, right? And so, if you're standing there judging a book by its cover, for example, I'm going to tell you a little story today about how we are divinely protected, we are divinely guided, and how everything is to our highest and best, right? I have broadened my horizons so far that I can feel reach across the world and touch the soul. And that's what the heart space meditation was about. And Thursday night we had heart space meditation, and we did something, a little healing session, which was phenomenal. And we tuned, and then we sent love out. We said, if you're capable, send what you can send, and we send it out. And every time we do that meditation and we do that, breathe it in and expand it and breathe it out and send it out, I legitimately can astral travel, and I go to every person who needs it. And I go to every place that needs a little extra love and light, and I shoot that love and light out. I'm right there in the room with them. And I'm so very excited to start January. I'm doing Reiki level 2 in January, which then will allow me to do distance healing with people. And so we can send that love and light out through Reiki and do group healing sessions through time and space. So I'm super excited about that. Sheila will tell you this, and we'll joke about it a little bit, but we do bless and smudge our space. So this is one of the items that we're going to be carrying in Heart of Virginia Hydro's Apothecary. It is Sacred Space. It is Sacred Space smudge. It's a liquid smudge, which means it also, because it's sprayed into the air, it ionizes and changes the electrical components of the air. But we smudge our space, we smudge ourselves, and we say nothing but the highest and best can enter this space for us. And we did it. We blessed our kitchen, and we said, if you're not to the highest and best today, you have to not be here. And within minutes, Sheila came out of the kitchen and had a complete breakdown. She literally came out of the kitchen, walked into my office, and just melted down. She was a mess. And I was like, I have, um, why don't you take the rest of the day? And Sheila, y'all, and we always talk about our team. Sheila is one of that person on the team that is she's gonna be there come hell or high water. She is going to be there and get it done. And she's like, you're dependent on me, I'm gonna be there. Whether she feels good or not, she just shows up. And I was like, let's do this. I was like, take some deep breaths. I want you to take the rest of the day off. Go get some rest. You're exhausted. You've been pushing yourself. And we want you to I want you to take the rest of the day. She's like, okay. And she would normally never agree to that. I really need the hours. I really want to work, blah, blah, blah. I was like, take the day. She got home. She had a fever. She didn't feel good. She had a whole week, she was sick all weekend. And I'm going to come back to this because this, and so the Sacred Space Sponge basically said, you are not going to serve the highest and best of the business today. nor are you going to serve the highest and best of the great 12 fed, because if you're sick, you can get everybody else sick. You can get sick, you can get people who get the food can be sick. So we made a conscious effort to say, if you don't serve, you don't stay, and it's okay. Nobody's mad about it. We're gonna, and I did this for a purpose, right? Then the other day, I went through and I did all of the entrances and exits to our store. We are a retail store. We are in this crazy, chaotic world. Our light shines bright. I want to make sure that we're protected, right? In a different way than maybe Red protects us. Red protects us through technology and bullets. I protect us through woo woo and, and magic. And so, I'm loving light, and he's fuck around and find out. We need a shirt that says "I'm loving light, I'm fuck around to find out." We need that. So I did invoked a little blessing to the building. Every doorway spritzed it and said, "Only those things that serve our highest and best. Only those people who need to be in this space are allowed to be in this space. Let nothing cross this threshold that is not to our highest and best. Nothing that will harm us. Only abundance can enter here." Right? I went um, through and did all of the things. Three people walked up to our door on Friday. Three individual people. So we have this little like town motel, right? And there are people who are down on their luck. And I know that there are probably some non-meritorious people or some people in there that have not learned to raise their vibration. And our goal is to be a light and a beacon, so that we are influencing all of those people. Because here's the thing, we have to love those people as well. And I'm going to treat those people like humans, and I'm going to treat those people kindly, and hopefully that they will return the favor. But you have to be cognizant of people who are maybe in a different headspace and who are reacting versus, from a place of fear versus a place of love. And two times, it was people that normally walk up and down the street, go from their hotel down to the little market down the street or whatever. And they've never really crossed the threshold yet, but they came up to the door. And normally our doors have been locked, they're not open yet, but we've been leaving the door unlocked. We have a lot more people coming in and out. And they walked to the door. They could have opened it and walked in. They could have opened that door, it was not locked, walked in and had a conversation with somebody. I was watching from my office. I have a straight eye shot to the door. And they stood there, and they honestly like went to open the door. And then it was like they went to reach for the door, and I watched all three of them. And they were like, it was like a confundus charm from Harry Potter. It was like is that what it's called, like the confusion, the confundus charm? Like they were just confused. Like, why did I walk? It was like it was like I look when I walk into my office, and I'm looking for what I walked into my office for, and I'm like, what did I come in here for? What? It was like that complex, and they just walked away. They just walked away. Now, the second time I saw it, Mel caught a glimpse of the person walking away, and sometimes she didn't know the door was unlocked, so she thought, well, maybe we locked the door and it was a customer. We had pickups coming in. She runs, and she's like, "Hey!" And they just kept going, did not respond. She's like, they just kept walking. And I was like, they're not supposed to be in here. She's like, well, the door's unlocked. I'm like, exactly. It's all good in the hood. It's fine. You were put next to that motel for a reason. Everything needs a blessing, right? But let's see here. Melanie says, I post stuff on Facebook that I think is either inspiring, will make you laugh, or make a statement. I am conscious not to post anything with cursing or anything vulgar to upset anyone. On my Snapchat, I have a smaller group of closer friends that are more like-minded and less judgmental. You're Melanie, you missed the first part of this, right? If you are judging what you are writing, it is not about anybody else seeing, it's about what you think about it. If you are offended by it, you shouldn't even write it. I'm gonna say that away. I'm gonna say that. We talked about that, right? What you are judging, you are damning because it's what you don't like to see in yourself. That's a whole like four agreements thing. Then she says, I love this. So Elizabeth says, I have homework from my therapist. I'm going to put this up here. I have homework from my therapist. I have to do breathing exercises for 2 minutes twice daily. Sometimes you just got to breathe. And Elizabeth, we're going to be offering that breathwork classes at the shop. We're going to be offering meditations in person at the shop. We're going to be offering all the things. Elizabeth Clark has already paid for her membership, and we had to have her fill out the form because we are going to be looking through those applications. So Melanie says, I told my therapist about the retreat we went to in October, and she said it sounded amazing and she wanted to go. I love that. Tell her that we are going to be doing hippie holidays. The whole week, that week of April, is going to be day retreats. You can go home at night, sleep in your own bed. If you're from out of town, you can come stay in a hotel. But we're going to be having different sessions all over Farmville that whole week. If any of you want to create classes and you want to do classes, we would love to have them. Melanie, I would love for you to host we could do a meditation for moms who have lost children. Elizabeth, I would love to come into a breathwork class. Heather, I'd come love to see you do some card readings. If you're part of the Grateful Fed and you want to be involved in hippie holidays, the more hands, the merrier. And I definitely 100% want to um, I love that. Thank you, Melanie. She says that she loved her therapist. Honestly, she would be completely comfortable with the pair being a part of a retreat. The retreat was beyond words, life changing. I love that so much. We are going to be doing, like I said, we're going to be doing a week long in a retreat here in Farmville. We're going to have yoga. We're going to have breath work. Carly's going to be here doing Reiki healing sessions like we did at the other retreat. I'm going to be running some classes. I'm going to be doing some cooking classes, hippie holidays. Yes, I love it. Yeah, we're going to start that on the Monday. We'll probably start it on the Sunday. We'll be welcoming people in on Sunday, and that will be like a live Sunday sermon kind of thing. And then let me look at the calendar real quick because I want to tell y'all exactly because I got to start getting that all going. We are going to actually have like things, zip lining. We're going to have stuff that is honestly all over the town. It's going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so the 16th is Sunday. So Sunday, we'll kick it off with our Sunday sermon, kind of like here's what the week is looking like. The 17th is Monday. The 18th, 19th, so the 20th is Hippie Holidays, which is Thursday. And then Saturday is Earth Day, which is dead ass perfect for us, right? So Thursday is going to be the day that we give away 100 prizes. That's the goal, is that I can collect 100 prizes and we're going to sell the 100 gift. We're going to sell 100 tickets for the raffle. And that is going to be at $25 a piece. And then we're going to give away 100 prizes. And then we are going to do our day of service and our earth healing meditation on the 22nd. So the 22nd on that Saturday, we're going to wrap everything up with Peace, Love, and Feast Fest. That will be a morning meditation and our earth healing meditation that Carly will lead for us. And then we will do a day of, probably have some yoga that morning too. Probably get a yoga person outside. We'll do a big yoga stretching thing. Then we're going to do a day of service. We're going to put in our community garden and the planter boxes and all that stuff so people can get their hands in the dirt and all the things. Maybe walk up and down and clean up some garbage, that kind of stuff. Just do something to give back to the planet. Whatever's going on that day, just get involved. If you don't want to come up there and plant the garden, no big deal. We just ask you to do a day of service to your community wherever you are. And then we're going to end it with that evening with an event, a big event. The food truck will be grand opening that Saturday. We may end up opening it Thursday. I'm hoping we'll do a soft opening on Thursday just for the people there for the hippie holidays. And then we will do our grand big event. We're going to do some food drives for that night. We're going to have some music. We're going to have a big vendor fair. So it's going to be Peace, Love, and Feast Fest. So there'll be food, there'll be hippie vendors, there'll be everything that you could want. And if you are part of the private club, you'll have private access to our private consumption lounge only if you have a card membership. And you'll not be able to buy a card membership for the same day. Yes, it's going to be super fun, and we're going to be doing our membership drive starting next week. I got to get through this week. Got lots and lots of things going on this week. We had a death in the family overnight, so if y'all could hold some space for Red's family, they lost. He lost his uncle, who was like a grandfather to him. It was who raised his mom, and they're hurting right now. So I'd love for y'all to hold some space for them and send them some love and light out. They definitely need it for his children, his nieces and nephews, his sisters and brothers. So they're struggling. He's been sick, and they knew it was coming. He's been on hospice, but It still doesn't make it any easier because here on this plane, people mourn the loss of the person in the physical realm. So we're gonna send him some love and help him cross over and go to heaven and do his thing, and for the family who's here to have some relief from the grief because it sucks. Um, it does. It just does. So thank you so much. We appreciate that so very, very much. Now, I am going to do something I don't normally do today. I wanted to pull, everybody sending you some love when you lost your come back, babe. A wisdom of the Avalon. I want to pull one of these cards today, just because I feel like and I was told when I came on here, it's like, read this, pull two cards. And I was told you can't make this shit up. So whatever the card comes up from this one is going to be how we wrap this message together for somebody. And it said that somebody's going to need this card to wrap this message together. And it might even be me. We don't know. But I am going to get that done. We have been on here for 40 minutes. And I know sometimes we're going to pull our weekly crystal card. So let's go ahead and pull our Avalon card. I'm going to do this 5 times. We got 5 people watching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the top card, interesting. Sacred Journey Marker. And it says burden. And it's interesting. Burden. And it's so funny because look at all the... and it's a flag, and it's number 43, but it's all the autumn, and it looks like the falling of the leaves, and the symbolism on this is very autumny. And let's see what this card is saying. And I don't think it's saying what I think it's saying. Huh. So this is definitely going to wrap some things together, right? Talking about judgment and looking at coming from a place of fear, and what we damns us, and don't judge a book by its cover, especially yourself, right? Because a lot of us judge ourselves, and that's the part I was trying to get at, right? We're really judging ourselves when we're judging others, and when we see things and we worry about things, it's really our own self-judgment. So it's interesting that this card came up. So here's what burden says. What burdens are you carrying on this part of the journey? Are you transporting those of others out of generosity or codependency? Is this burden so heavy that it slows you down? This marker asks you to stop and look at your responsibilities, your commitments, and all that brings with you, all that you bring with you on this journey, right? Look at all the things that you're carrying right now. Are you clinging to unhealthy relationships out of fear? Are you taking on the burden of others to prevent them from getting hurt? Y'all, if this one ain't for this group, if this card ain't for this group, so Hometown Hippie group, right? Are you clinging to an unhealthy relationship out of fear? Are you taking on the burden of others to prevent them from getting hurt? Do you know that this enables others to avoid learning their life lessons and doesn't really help at all? Drawing this marker encourages you to release others to their own path. It may also be a time for you to ask if you're helping because you like being needed. Ding, 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 ding. I tell y'all, when I'm talking about Sunday sermon and I'm doing this and you feel like I'm pointing, that thumb is coming back and hit me in the head too. Wow. Whew. I'm gonna read that again. I'm gonna read that again for those in the back. Drawing this marker encourages you to release others to their own path. It may also be a time for you to ask if you're helping because you like being needed. If the answer is yes, then the message is truly to let go of this burden, for it's born of self centeredness. Release the burden of others to the divine. They also have their own angels and guides just as you do. Trust in the divine plan for all. Trust in the divine plan for all, right? This is for all of us, right? This is not just for me. This is not just for one or two of us. This is for everybody, right? This one, that one, right? That one, yes. The part of whom is returned is here to stay. Yes. Um, on the sacred path to Avalon, you must be aware that you pack all the essential wisdom tools you will need to chart your course: integrity, kindness, compassion, discernment, discretion, faith, forgiveness, truth, and love are but some of them. And that list of words is honestly 1,000,000,000,000,000% the cornerstones of how I try to live my life every day, and the cornerstone of how so many of you live your life every day. And what we tend to forget is when we come to this awakening, this is a channel message apparently, as we come to this awakening, we tend to forget that everyone, you weren't awake at one time, and you didn't believe you had those tools because they were buried deep. And every time we try to use our tools on somebody else and don't allow them to develop their tools, it's like going out and cutting wood for somebody versus helping them sharpen their axe. Does that make sense? It's like me cooking for somebody versus teaching them the recipe. And that's interesting because that's kind of where things are going, is like I want to teach you how to do the things for yourself, and to understand that we all have divinity in us, and we all have the ability to be our own caretakers. And but so many of us try to take care of everybody that allows them to like not awaken and not sharpen their tools. So think about it that way. I didn't even see this. I really didn't see this next line. Once your tools are counted, see if the rest of what you're hanging on to is appropriate. This is the time to leave behind any unnecessary burdens and to know you have the strength to carry what is yours. So, your responsibility is to carry what is yours. It is not for you to carry others. You can be there and you can be a light and a beacon to others, right? Don't judge them. Don't judge them. You're judging a book by its cover by doing it for them. You're like, they can't do it for themselves. That is nothing but ego. And it's interesting that that came up when I say I'm pointing at me. I wrote that in my journal last week when I was talking about all the things happening in my house and all the people who I want to lift up and I want to bring along. Some of the most important people in my world live in my house now, right? My husband is my number one, my rock, my everything. Like he's my family. But my sister and my family, my niece and my nephew and my kids and my grandchildren and my in-laws and my our family, right? And each and every one of you here today, I count you as a part of that. I count you as a part of that. You can be blood related, but you can also be family. Those are two different things, related and family. And there's people who I am blood related to that I do not consider family. I consider some of you more families than some of my relatives, but family matters, and these people are family. And the more that if you love people and you consider them family, then you have to learn to allow them, right? You're judging that book by believing that they can't handle it. And that is nothing but ego, because that's what I wrote in my journal. I'm like, I want to be able to help this, and I'm going to help this, and I'm going to carry this, and I'm going to teach them this, and I'm writing these things. And all of a sudden, my inner guidance went an arrow back up with a point that says, this is of ego. That came in from that is of ego, right? When you say to me, I'm like, hey, we want to come over and help do this. I'm like, oh, I can't. So and so, if I tell them to leave, then they're going to be lost and they need me. And I'm like, no, that's your ego telling you that you have to do it or they can't get it done. Right? And I do that all the time. And everything in me right now wants to just go handle all the things and set everything up and get it all done. But I know that that's something that they have to do and their own time. And I have to be okay with that. And that's one of the things that I'm learning. Did a little card spread, and it was like, don't fall into old patterns of putting it all on your shoulders. Don't fall into old patterns. Used to be like Red has worked his ever loving ass off on this store. This man has worked every weekend since September. He has worked 7 days a week. He has worked pretty much 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. Yep. And silence makes a statement. I need y'all to read Heather's message because she just got a good message in. This was definitely meant to hit home today. I needed to know that sometimes silence and holding space is all the situation needs, not my physical presence or hands. And silence makes a difference. It is because there used to be I know this is silly, but y'all know me and how I can relate to stuff. Um, Anybody, yes or no? Tell me in the comments. Do you remember the comedian Bernie Mac? Right? Um, Anybody remember the comedian Bernie Mac? Yes, no, maybe it's so. He used to tell this. I mean, and here's my inappropriateness for the day because I don't. I mean, I worry about judgment, but I'm not really. Um, he used to tell this joke about his girlfriend like going down, like giving him head, And he was like, she's like, I didn't know how to do it. And he was like, she got to learn. You got to learn, right? You got to learn. I always said if I wanted it done right, do it myself. I say do it your way. I said, right? You got to learn, right? You got to learn. She got to learn. I'm a little learn. You can't learn if you don't try. I don't know how. Well, time to practice, right? So a lot of times we allow people also. We are really hurting them when we do that. We are taking away from their life lessons. We are taking away from their ability to fulfill soul and karmic contracts, and it's also very, we talk about that. Yes, like she says, I always said if I want it done right. Oh, what's jumped out this time? Iolite. Okay, that is really, really, really jumped out. um, this is so weird. This money stuff keeps coming out. I'm gonna do another one because that really did just jump out at me. And it was Iolite, and it was shift your money focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and appetite. Get out of your comfort zone. So the two cards we're going to read today from our crystal affirmations and our journal things, there's two here. So someone is attaching all I talked about today, I think, to a money thing, and somebody's taking on somebody's money burden. Somebody is taking on somebody's money burden, and you have to release that, right? Shift your money mindset. And the other one is appetite. Get out of your comfort zones. We're going to read Iolite first, and we're going to see what that one says, and then we're going to read the other one. All right, so the Iolite, the first one that jumped out at us was the money one. So somebody is dealing with that, right? Somebody is feeling like if they don't pay for somebody, then they're going to be stuck. I just feel like that's what's coming into me, is that it's very much a monetary thing. Like you're supporting somebody that you really shouldn't be. So let's see what it says anyhow. Money might make the world go round, but it shouldn't have you running in circles. It's important to view your cup as half full instead of half empty to maintain a healthy perspective. When you shift your attention from what you don't have to appreciating what you do, you attract more of what you want in your life. All right, so I'm getting this from something. Yeah, I got you. Embrace a feeling of enoughness and know that whether or not you have everything you want, you definitely have everything you need. Bring more awareness to your internal state and challenge yourself to express gratitude for where you are and what you have right now. Instead of chasing money and material items, chase happiness and satisfaction with your life and it is as it is currently. You will soon see that your cup runneth over. So this one is more about somebody who is judging themselves based on the things that they're seeing about money. You keep seeing all these pictures and you keep thinking that you have to have more, 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 and you're gripping onto money this way, right? You're gripping onto money this way. And if you understand that you have everything that you need, and I think this is for me as well, right? Because I tend to grip on money around this time of year. Um, the world and the universe is full of endless abundance. Every single one of us can have all, can have it all. We just have to believe it. And the more that you stress over money, right? The things that chase run from you. Don't forget that. If you're chasing something, that means it's running from you. I don't chase money. I want you to affirm that right now in the comments. I don't chase money. Money flows to me easily. Here's your core questions for your journal if this resonates this week. Are you a conscious spender? Do you buy what you want or what you need? What would make you content with your financial situation? So that's another thing that a lot of us need to realize too. If you are struggling, and this time of year, a lot of people are struggling over money, and the comparison is the thief of joy. If you are out there seeing people are talking to friends and they're giving their kids this, well, my kids are getting 2 new iPhones, an iPad, and a trip to Disney this year. And you're like, well, my kids are getting 10 things from the dollar store. I want you to stop. I want you to stop comparing yourself. And I want you to know that you have everything that you need in this world. But if you are struggling with money and maybe you're not taking care of your financial house, it's important also not to do what a lot of people do when they feel a little bit over their head with money. They refuse to look at the whole picture. They don't want to see where they're at with money because they're so overwhelmed. If the bills are coming in and you're not opening the mail, if the phone is ringing and you're not answering the call, you are not doing yourself any favors. Answer the phone, have the conversation. Here's what's going on. Let me figure out a way to get you taken care of. What is the exact amount that I owe you? I'm putting it all together. But unless you know what you're doing, it's kind of like setting a goal, right? And we're coming into the new year. And one of the things we're starting in January is our root chakra. And that's about how you feel about yourself. And in January, the big topic for our healing that month is going to be about getting real about your health and your financial, your spiritual, financial, and house in order, right? Your physical, spiritual, and financial health house needs to be in order. And that's what January is going to be about. It's going to be about setting out your yearly goals. It's going to be about um, getting in touch with that, because your root chakra is about the I am. And if we are struggling with money, if we are struggling with our health, if we are struggling with our spiritual self, then we can't really get a grip about who we are and fortify our base chakra. It all starts at the base. It's like the foundation. So we want to get the base and the foundation strong. And then once we get the foundation strong, that's why we did Woo Woo 101. That's your foundation. That's 2 days. That's 2 minutes a day doing your breath work. That is 3 minutes a day doing your gratitudes. That is 5 minutes a day grounding yourself and calling in your angels, guides, and helpers and putting on your protection. That is giving your thanks at the night and blessing yourself and sending out love to others. That is making sure that you know what you're putting into your body from a food standpoint. We're going to talk about how to cook better for yourself. I'm doing a whole medical medium cleanse next year, and I'm going to document the whole thing. And we're going to, that's part of the private club. We're going to make sure that you know how to grow in every way that you can grow, right? That's a very much needed class for me. Yes, and that's all part of the membership, right? That's all a part of the membership. So if you are a virtual membership, you will be able to get those classes on Zoom and things and live streamed. You can watch those classes as we do them. If you're in person, they will be in person in the Zen Den. And you can come in there and sit on whatever night we do those, and you can be live in the class. But that's going to be part of the membership. And those classes are all part of the membership, and they're all free and part of it. The extra things are going to be the things that where we're going to have, some other things there that we have to, that's the like extra money for like the quarterly dinners or whatever. Yes, and that's what it's all about, right? That's why iolite was so important. So your crystal affirmation from that card, I want you to be involved in it all as well, and I can't wait to see you. Crystal affirmation. We hope y'all come out next weekend. I live in a state of abundance. Today, express appreciation for all that you have, right? And that's what I did. Like, I was stressing over, like, I got to pay this, and I got to pay that, and I got to pay this, and I'm doing this. And I did the chicken and dumpling sales for holiday blessings, and I got to do this. And I was like, you know what? Let me just stop and stop stressing over the dollars and pennies. And let me take a deep breath. All of my needs are met. Money flows to me easily. I am a good and faithful steward of the money that I receive, and I live and I believe that I belong in a state of abundance. So be it, and so it is. And just saying that out loud and putting that force behind it makes me believe it, right? And it should make you believe it. Appetite, all right? Appetite. That is, get out of your comfort zone. So a lot of this may be like, I hear you, Tammy, but that's a whole lot of me having to do something to get my life together. Because here's the thing, right? We can lead you to water. I can provide the trough and the water, but unless you drink, that is up to you. And that's what I am learning, right? I am learning that I'm like, I can't believe they're not. It's so great, because when you feel so good, you want others to feel so good. So you get really frustrated when people don't take advantage of all of the things and like do it. But everyone has their own journey, and that's going back to the first thing, right? The first card right over here, burden. It's not mine to carry. Not your burdens are not mine to carry. I have enough burdens of my own to carry. I have enough healing to do of myself. And just when you think it's safe to go back in the water, shadow work appears. And it happens to me all the time. That's why my house looks like chaos right now. I'm judging my office. I'm judging my house. And I'm judging them like that things that you damn will damn you. And I cannot stand a mess. I can't stand the fact that my house is not decorated for Christmas with all of the things right now. It will be today, right? But what I am learning and what my thing is that hey, shit happens. Now you see what all these like moms who couldn't get their house decorated and have messes feel like when they got 25,000 things going on. You now understand it. And if you don't want to understand it and give grace and gentleness and ease to people, then the universe will show it to you in a way that you don't like. All of this chaos, all of this mess, all of this is shadow work for me. All of this is 2x4 therapy for me. Y'all don't understand. Until we moved back here and I kind of got through my awakening, I would have lost my ever loving mind had things been this chaotic. I would have stayed up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. I would have never gone to bed leaving dirty dishes in the sink because the dishwasher was full and we had people having snacks after dinner tonight at night. There's more people, there's more dishes, they don't all fit, all the things. I am learning to let go of the gripping. I am let going of judge. I'm judging myself. I'm judging. And this is why I messaged the message today, right? Because if you judge a book by its cover, like you can see my house, like, oh my gosh, like you don't know the situation. If somebody who did not know me walked around, they're like, look at this mess. And I have walked into people's houses and I have judged them because of a mess. I don't know what they're dealing with at that moment. And you find out this is what happens. This is why today's message was this, right? All right, appetite. Burst through your bubble. There is a first time for everything and for everyone. Get outside of your comfort zone to discover what feeds your appetite for life. It's easy to become complacent, to play it safe, and to live in your self-created boundaries. Don't let your routine hold you back from challenging yourself. Embrace new and uncharted territory. It is in these exhilarating moments that you will find inspiration and uncover what thrills you. Keep yourself on your toes and be excited for the day you have ahead. This is the space where you will learn the most, where you will grow and evolve into the best version of yourself. I love this card. I love this card. Core question. When was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? That's all going to be playing on repeat this week, right? When was the last time you did something for the first time? Take a risk, right? It's scary. God knows it's scary. We're doing it. Red and I do it every day, right? This card's for him. I'm going to read this. I'm going to let him read this card when I get out of here. What inspires you? What inspires you, right? I know that I was told if you build it, they will come. And damn if we ain't building it, right? I hope y'all will come. We are building it. We are creating. And what I've been told, right? I was like, I know that I'm supposed to heal. I know that I'm supposed to heal. I know that I'm supposed to do this, but it scares me to death. Like I feel like I'm so underqualified, right? That's why I try to bring in all these resources from all around the world to give you the things that I think that you need. And God says to me, Tammy, everybody who takes a trip needs a gas station. If you drive from Maine to Florida, you can enjoy. You have to get from point A to point B, right? If you're traveling, if you're on a journey, and so many of us are on this journey of life, and you're on this healing journey. And so, what God showed me and what I am is I am a way station in the journey of life. I am a place for you to find refuge. And my dream was to have a house like what is it like the crowded table? I want a crowded table. And that is what it's about. It's about providing a place where you can come and feed your mind, body, and soul. You can stay for as long as you need to stay. It is always at my doors. I'll leave a light on, right? Like the Motel 6. We'll leave a light on. That's who we are. And we know that some people are not going to sit in that space and stay. They're going to grow past it. They're going to go do their thing. They're going to be there for a moment, but for a brief moment in our love and our life. They're going to need in their contract with our souls and our soul family. They will be like a blink of an eye. They will come in there and be blessed, and we will never see them again. There will be people who come to the door and look confused and walk away. There will be people who come there and they find a home and a refuge and a safe space, and that is their Wawa. That is their corner store, right? That is the place that we know. It's like Cheers, right? I want to go where everybody knows my name, right? It's gonna be that for different people. There's gonna be people who come and have a drink, and people who come and sit and empty the trough. Um, but whatever your needs are, we have to be there for it, right? We have to say, it's okay. And I can't control what you do once you leave our sphere of influence. But what we can control is the light that we shine when you're there, right? We're not going to judge your book by its cover because we know that it's not finished getting written. Um, we know that you are, if you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. There are people, like I said, that walk to the door and can't walk in, people who walk in the door that can't walk out, and people that come and go as easily as the rain dripping off the ceiling, right? And that's okay. That's what it's supposed to be. and it's going to be exactly what it's supposed to be. And so are you, right? And this appetite is saying to us that you are scared because you're setting these self created boundaries, right? We hold ourselves in these little boxes because we're so afraid of what's outside of it. Don't be afraid of busting out of your box. Don't be afraid of trying something new. Affirm this week, I am capable of new and surprising things. Today, try something different to get inspired about life. You might plan a trip, try a new recipe, buy a book by an author you've never heard of. Try it. Listen to a song in a genre you've never heard. You might love it. You don't know, right? But either way, what I want y'all to remember is this: you have the power, and it's in it's your decision, right? Whether you do or you don't, it's up to you. And know that you are divinely guided. The abundance of the universe is here. It is endless. You have a community of people who love and support you and hopefully will hold you up. And we appreciate you for being here. We do have our little soft holiday open house, a little soft opening. We are up and ready to start. You know, we have our seller's license, we have our business licenses. Red's got his Square set up now. So if you're interested in getting things from Heart of Virginia Hydro, you can do so. We're going to be cataloging. We've cataloged in all the crystals. We are Thank you, Melanie. I just saw that. I really love how you really put things. I try to make it to where it's understandable and some kind of analogy. It's just my brain does that. Yep, when I walk in the shop, everyone yells my name just like normal and cheers. Elizabeth! Yep, we love you. That's all of y'all. We do, and we're so glad to have y'all. And um, it's going to be some adjustment. It's going to be new. We have a new shop. We have a new store. We have a new storefront. We are working on getting the Zenden in some kind of order over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, this week we'll put that back in order some, and we're going to start getting that set up for like a multi-use space. We're going to have classes in there and meditations in there and sound baths in there and events in there. It's not a big space. We're going to open it up and make it feel like it's supposed to feel. We have the back area, which is really going to be the big part of the club for like events and things like that. But on that note, I am going to get off here today. It's 11:11. I'm a little bit late, but that's perfect kismet timing, right? In 1 minute. So as we always end this lives, we always say to y'all, peace, love, and feast. And don't forget to stay elevated. There's lots of stuff coming out this week. Stay tuned. I'll be back on Facebook in a couple of days, back to our normal live schedule. And we love you. We're all going to breathe. We're all going to breathe. We're all going to do the things. Y'all don't worry. It's all coming. You will be getting your invitations this week to our soft opening. We hope you'll show up, come out, support us. And on that note, let's do a real one. I need it in the comments. Y'all need the peace, loves, and feasts. Let's see them. Peace, love, and feast. Y'all stay elevated. I'll see you soon.